Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Exit there. Exit there. Women and children first. How am I not in the light? Fine, I'll be here on the X. Got it. So there are no brain surgeons, so if you don't find your light, you will lose your head. So be sure you keep that into mind. We still need to take down those flags. These have been your announcements for everything. Pray. We actually forgot to pray backstage, so I will pray now. Everybody listen. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we can work through all the kinks for one last time before we have an audience. Please be with our actors and their minds and bodies and our texts as well as we all try to bring all of our disparate elements together. In Jesus' name, amen. And let's begin the show. No.
Turn this. Your master would not approve.
Remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will but pour 1,000 crowns, and, as thou sayest, charge my brother and his blessing to give me good education. My brother keeps his school, and report speaks girl neighbor's favor. But for my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or, to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that a gentleman of my calling differs not from the stalling of an ox? His horses are bred better, for, despite that they are fair in their feeding, they are taught their manage to that end, riders yearly hired. But for me, his brother, gained nothing under him but growth, for as much as animals on his dunghills are bound to him his eye. And besides this nothing he so plentifully gives me, there's something that nature seems to take away from me. His countenance seems to take away from me. This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I believe is within me, begins to mutiny against his servitude, and I will no longer endure it, though yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear he shall shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing, sir. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir. I'll be helping you mar that which God made. A poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed, and be not a while.
Would you have me keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent to come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Better than him, I am before knows me. I know you are my young oldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood you should know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, in that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not only my blood. Were there 20 brothers betwixt us, I have as much of my father and me as you do. Albeit, I confess, your coming before me is much nearer to his reverence.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois. He was my father, and he is thrice the villain that said such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take thy hand from thy throat until the other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so.
Oh.
Thou hast railed on thyself.
Oh, sweet masters, please be at accord for your father's remembrance.
Let me go, I say.
I will not till you please. You shall hear me. My father charged you on his blessing to give me good education, but you have trained me like a peasant, hiding and obscuring me from all gentleman-like qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercise as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor lottery left to me by my father. With that, I will go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you, leave me.
I will no further offend you than becomes my good.
Get you with him, you old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most truly, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me? I will physic your rankness and yet grant no 1,000 crowns, neither. Holla at him.
Calls your worship.
Was not Charles the Duchess Boxer here to speak with me?
So please you, he is here at the door and importunes access to you.
Let him in. 'Twill be a good way. And tomorrow the boxer is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles, what new news is there at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir. But the old news. That is, the old Duke is banished by his younger sister, the new Duchess, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues enrich the new Duchess. Therefore, she gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. For the Duchess's daughter, her cousin, so loves her. Being ever from their cradles bred together, she would have followed her exile or died to stay behind her. She is at the court, and no less beloved of her aunt than her own daughter.
Where will the old Duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Ardennes, and a many merry men with him. And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say many young gentlemen flock to him every day, and fleet the time carelessly as they did in the golden world.
What, you box tomorrow before the new Duchess?
Marry do I, sir. And I came to acquaint you with a matter. I am led, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall.
Aha.
Tomorrow, sir, I box to my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I would be loath to foil him, as I must for my honor if he come in. Therefore, out of my love to you, I came hither to acquaint you with all, that you might either stay his intendment, or brook such disgrace well as he shall run into. And that is a thing of his own search, and altogether against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I shall most kindly requite. I had learned of my brother's purpose herein, and have by underhanded means labored to dissuade him from it. But he is resolute. I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest fellow of France, full of ambition, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou art best to look to it. For if he should mightily disgrace himself, or if he should fail to mightily grace himself on thee, he shall practice against thee in poison, or entrap thee in some villainous device, and never leave thy side until he hath taken thy life. I tell thee, Charles, there's not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I'm heartily glad I came hither to thee. If he come tomorrow, I shall give him his payment. And so, God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now shall I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he is gentle, never schooled, and yet learned. Of all sorts, enchantingly beloved, so full of noble device, and the heart of the world, and so much of my own people, that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be long. This boxer shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither, which I shall go about to do.
I pray thee, Rosalind, my sweet coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I shall were mirth and I am mistress of it. Would you yet I were merrier? Unless you can teach me how to forget a banished father, you must not remember me how to learn any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished thy aunt, the Duchess, my mother, so wouldst thou have been still with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate, to rejoice in yours.
You know, my mother hath no child but I, nor none is like to have, and truly when she dies, thou shalt be her heir. For what she hath taken away from thy father perforce, I shall render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. When I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth I will, cuz. And devise sports. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Oh, Mary, love, do to make sport withal, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport. Then with safety of pure blush, thou mayst in honor come off again.
Why then, what shall be our sports then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
How would we could do so? For her gifts are mightily misplaced. And the bountiful blind woman doth most mistakes in her gifts to women.
'Tis true, for though she makes fair, she scarce makes honest. And though she makes honest, she makes very ill-favoredly.
Nay, now thou must go from fortune's offers to nature's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not in the lineaments of nature.
No, when nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into fire? Though nature hath given us wit to flout out fortune, hath not fortune sent in this fool to cut off the argument?
Indeed, there is fortune too hard for nature. When fortune makes nature's natural, the cutoff of nature's wit.
Peradventure, it is not nature's work neither, but fortune's work neither, but nature's, who perceiveth our natural wits too dull to reason of such goddesses, and has set this natural for a whetstone. For always the dullness of the fool is the whetstone of the wits. Oh, now, wit, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your mother.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
What learned you this oath, fool?
Of a certain knight who swore by his honor they were good pancakes, and swore by his honor the mustard was not. Now I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
Stand you both forth now. Stroke your chins and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were, but if you swear by that is not, you're not forsworn. No more was this knight swearing by his honor, for he never had any, or if he had sworn it away long before he ever saw those pancakes or that mustard.
Prithee, who is that thou meanest?
One that old Frida, your mother, loves.
My mother's love is enough to honor him. Enough! Speak no more of her. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days.
Ooh.
The more pity that fools may not speak wisely what wise men do foolishly.
And my troth thou sayest true. For since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery of a wise man makes a great show. Ah, here comes Monsieur Lebeau.
With his mouth full of news.
Said he will put on us as pigeons feed their young.
Then shall we be news cram?
All the better. We shall be the more marketable. Bonjour, Monsieur Lebeau. What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport. What color?
Of what color, madame? How shall I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destinies decree.
Oh, well said. That was laid on with a trowel.
Nay, if I keep not my rank...
Thou losest thy own smell.
You amaze me, ladies. I would have told you of good boxing, which you have lost the sight of.
You tell us the manner of this boxing.
I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do. And here, where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
3 proper young men, of excellent growth and presence.
With bills on their necks, being known unto all men by these presents.
The eldest boxed with Charles, the Duchess's boxer, which in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, in which there is little hope of life left in him. And so he served the second, and so the third. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father, making such pitiful dole over them, that all the beholders did take his part with weeping.
Alas!
But what is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Why, this that I speak of.
Thus men may grow wiser every day. It's the first that ever I heard the breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
But is there any else longs to see this broken music in his sides? Is there yet another dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this boxing, cuz?
You must, if you stay here, for here is the place appointed for the boxing, and they are ready to perform it.
Yonder, sure they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Come on, if the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madame.
Alas, he is too young, yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the boxing?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You'll take little delight in it, I can tell you. There's such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies, see if you can move him.
Call him hither, good Monsieur Lebeau.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur the Monsieur the Challenger, the princess is called for you.
I attend them with all duty and respect.
Young sir, have you challenged Charles the boxer?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come but in as others do, to try within the strength of my youth.
Oh, young sir, your spirits are too bold for your years. If you saw yourself, you've seen cruel proof of this man's strength. If you saw yourself with your eyes or knew yourself with your judgment, the fear of your adventure will counsel you to a more equal enterprise. We pray you for your own sake to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir, your reputation will not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duchess that the boxing might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. Let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me, wherein if I be foiled, there is but one shame that was never gracious, and if killed, one dead that was willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me, the world no injury, for only in it I make a place which may be better supplied when I've made it empty.
The little strength I have, I would it were with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Farewell. For heaven I be deceived in you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come! Where is this young gallant that is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his willeth and it's a more modest working.
You will try but one fall.
No, I warrant your grace. You shall not entreat him to a second, that hath been so mightily persuaded from a first.
And you mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before, but come your ways.
Now Hercules be thy speed, young man.
Oh, I wore I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
No more, no more.
Yes, I beseech your grace. I am not yet well breathed.
How doth thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Yeah! Woo! Yeah!
Bear him away. What,
Yeah!
what is thy name, young man?
Only like 3 lunches.
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Lord of Boys.
I would thou hadst told me of another father. The world esteemed thy father as honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my mother, cuz, would I do this?
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's youngest son, and I would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frida.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. Had I known this young man his son, I should have given him tears unto entreaties, ere thus he should have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My mother's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you keep your promises in love, but justly, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentleman, wear this for me. One out of suits, with fortune that could give more, but that our hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye. Fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that what stands here is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. By pride of my fortunes, I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have boxed well, and have overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuss?
Half with you. Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue, that I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando. Thou art overthrown, her Charles or something weaker. See? Good
sir!
Hey-o!
I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high accommodation, true applause, and love, such is the Duchess's condition that she misconstrues all that you have done. The Duchess is volatile. What she is indeed better suits you to conceive of than I to speak of.
Thank you, sir. And I pray you, tell me, which of the two was daughter of the Duchess that was here at the boxing?
Neither her daughter, if we judge by manners. But yet indeed the lesser is her daughter. The other is daughter of the banished duke, here detained by usurping act to keep her daughter company. Though, I can tell you this, that of late this duchess hath ta'en displeasure against her gentle niece, grounded upon no other argument, but that the people praise her for her virtues, and pity her for her father's sake. And, on my life, her malice against this duchess will suddenly break forth. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter, and in a world better than this, I shall desire more knowledge and love of you.
I rest much bound to thee. Fare you well. Thus must I from the smoke into the smother, tyrant Duchess to tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind,
Rosalind. Woo! Okay. Ow. My cousin. Why, Rosalind? You would have mercy, not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away upon curs. Throw some of them at me. Come, lay me with reasons.
Then there were two cousins laid up, when the other should be laid up with reason, and the other mad without any.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it is for my child's father. Oh, how full of pride is this working day world.
They are but burrs, cousin, cast upon thee in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very petticoats will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These birds are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I would try if I could cry hem and have him.
Oh, a good wish upon you. You will try in time in despite of a fall, but turning these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible on such a sudden that you should fall into so strong a liking with Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth it therefore ensue that you should love him dearly? By that kind of chase, I should hate him, for my mother hated his father dearly, yet I hate not Orlando.
No, Faith, hate him not, for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And you do love him because I do. Look, here comes the Duchess.
Oh, with her eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our courts.
Me, Aunt?
You, cousin. Within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let the knowledge of my fault bear with me, never so much in the thought unborn that I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter. There's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my liege. Or if we did derive that from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor.
You?
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else that she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young at that time to value her, but now I know her if she betrayed her. We are like Juno's swans. We go coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee. And her smoothness, her very patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou show more bright, and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Ladies, pronounce that sentence it on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. Mistress, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, then upon mine honor and the greatness of my word, thou die.
My poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change parents? I'll give thee mine, I charge thee. Be not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest not the Duchess hath banished me, her daughter?
That she hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind, then lacks the love that teaches thee that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No, let my mother seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go and what to bear with us. Do not seek to take this change upon you and bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. Say what thou canst, I'll go with thee.
Why? Whither shall we go?
Seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger it'll be for us. Maids as we are to travel forth so far, Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I shall put myself in poor and mean attire, with the kind of umber smirch my face, and like to you, so shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because I am more than common tall, that I did suit all points like a man. A gallant colonel axe upon my thigh, a boar spear in hand, and in my heart lie there where hidden women's fear their will. We'll have a we'll have a swashing and a martial outside, as many other mannish cowards have that do outface it with their semblances.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse name than Joe's own page. Therefore, look upon me as Ganymede. Oh, but what will you be called?
Something that hath reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
Oh, but cousin, what if we just say to steal the clownish fool outside your mother's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
Oh, he'll go o'er the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away, get our jewels and our wealth together, devise the fittest time and safest place that hide us from pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now go we, in content to liberty, and not to banishment.
Maybe it's a new beginning. Maybe it's the start of where it ends. I know. It comes down to all or nothing. This time it's for real, we can't pretend. You know, they're closing in, and I don't wanna miss a shot. Adrenaline, so give it everything that you got. Don't stop. In your eyes, I see a fire lighting up as we're getting away. There's no going back, and I'm loving the chase. Where you go, I follow. We're not giving up, never hitting the brakes. There's no going back, and I'm loving the chase. We're not giving up, never hitting the brakes. There's no going back, and I'm loving the chase. I can hear my every heartbeat. I can feel the blood rush through my veins. You know. Somewhere in the distance, the sun's coming up. Everything is blurry, the trees flashing by my side. We're far ahead. The horizon never seems so close. The sky is red.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the pain of Adam. The season's difference as an icy fang and churlish chiding of winter's winds, which, when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors who but feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in its head. Checkmate. And this, our life exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and truth in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace. I can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go kill us a venison?
Oh,
Yeah!
Great idea, you know?
And yet it irks me, the poor dappled fools, being native burghers of this desert city, should in their own confines, with forked heads, have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jacques grieves at that. And in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth your sister that hath banished you. Today, my lord Abamians and myself did steal behind as she lay along under an oak, whose antique root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood. To the which place a poor sequestered stag, who from the hunter's aim had ta'en a hurt, did come to languish. And indeed, my lord, the wretched animal he forced such groans that their discharge did stretch his leather coat almost to the bursting. And the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase. Plop, plop. And thus the hairy fool, much marked on the melancholy Jacques, stood along the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
What's that, Jacques? Did she not moralize the spectacle?
Oh, yes. Into 1,000 similes. Rudena, yes. Okay, up on this rock. Yeah. Kenneth. Just lay down right here. Yeah. Yeah. First, for weeping into the needless stream. Poor dear, quoth she, thou makest a testament as worldlings do, giving thy sum more to that which had too much. Then, being there alone, left and abandoned of her velvet friends. 'Tis right, quoth she, thus misery doth part the flocks of company. Anon, a careless herd, full of the pasture, jumps along by her and never stays to greet her. Whoa. Verdina! Okay. I'm just gonna put that there. All right. Aye, quoth Jacques, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there? Ah! And thus, most invectively, she pierceth through the body of the country, city, court, and yea, this our lives, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and kill them up in their assigned and native dwelling places.
Did you leave her in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope her in these sullen fits because she's so full of matter.
I'll bring you to her straight.
be possible that no man has seen them? Oh, it cannot be. Some villains of my court are in consent and sufferance in this.
I cannot hear of any that did see her. Her lady, the attendants of her chamber, saw her abed, and in the morning early found the bed untreasured of their mistress.
My lady, the Rhenish clown, at whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh, is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the boxer that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles.
Send to his brother, fetch that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I shall make him talk. Do this suddenly, and let not search nor inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways. Now pick that up. Go!
Oh, what? Who's there?
Oh, my young master. Why, what make you here? Why would you be so fond to overcome the bonny prize of the volatile Duchess? Your praises come home too swiftly before you. Know you not, to some men their graces serve them, but as enemies, no more do yours. Your virtues, gentle master, are sanctified and holy traitors to you. Oh, what a world this is, when what is comely envenoms him that bears it.
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth! Your brother, no brother, yet the son, yet not the son of him I was about to call the father, hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging in which you used to lie your head, and you within it. And if he fail at that, he will have some other means to cut you off. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Do not enter it. Abhor it. Fear it.
Whither, Adam? What's the me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What? What's the me go and beg my food, or with a base and sort of force the thievish living on the common road? This I must do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do. Do how I can. I will rather subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns. The thrifty hire I saved under your father, which I did store to be my foster nurse when service should my old limbs lie lame and unregarded age in corners thrown. Take that, and he that doth the ravens feed, yea, providently caters for the sparrow. be comfort to my age. Here is the gold, and all this I give to you. Let me be your servant. Though I am old, yet I am strong and lusty. I will do all the service of a younger man in all your businesses and necessities.
Oh, good old man. How well in thee appears. The constant service of the ancient world were service sweat for duty, not for meed. Oh, thou art not for the passion of these times, where none were sweat but for promotion, and having that do choke their service up. But even with the having is not so with thee. But come, we'll go together, and ere we'll have our youthful wages spent, well, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Go on, and I will follow thee, master, to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. For 17 years, till now almost 80, here lived I. But now live here no more. At 17 years, many their fortune seek, but at 80 it is too late a week. Yet, fortune cannot recompense me better than to die well, and not my master's debtor.
My spirits.
I care not for spirits if my legs were not weary.
I can find it in my heart to disgrace my man's peril and cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel as double and whole that to show itself courageous of the petticoats. Therefore, courage, good Aliena.
I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I had rather bear with you than bear you. Though, if I did bear you, I should bear no cross, for I think you have no money in your purse. Now am I in Arden. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travelers must be content.
Aye, be so, good touchstone. Look you, who comes here? A young man and an old and solemn talk.
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corin, that thou knew how I do love her.
I partly guess. I have loved ere now.
No, Corin. Being old, thou canst not know. Though in thy youth thou wast as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were e'er like to mine, as sure I think that man never loved so, then how many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
Then thou didst ne'er love so heartily. If thou canst remember the slightest folly the love hast drawn thee to, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my love now makes me do, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, 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 Phoebe.
Oh, alas, poor shepherd. Searching for thy wound, I have my hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love, I broke my sword upon a stone, and bid him take that for coming a night to Jane's smile. I remember the kissing of her batlet, and the cow's dugs that her pretty chopped hands had milked, and the wooing of a peace god instead of her, from whom I took 2 cods, and, giving them to her again, said, "Wear these for my sake." We that are true lovers run into strange capers, but as all is mortal in nature, so all nature in love is mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art ware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er beware my own wit till I break my shins against it.
Joe, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine. But it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you, question yon man if he for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Hollow, you clown.
Peace, fool, he is not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters, sir.
Else they are very wretched.
Peace, I say. Good even to you, friend.
And to you, good sir, and to you all.
I pray thee, if that love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us to a place where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here is a young maid who travels much oppressed and faint to succor.
Fair sir, I pity her and wish for her sake more than for mine own. My fortunes could more able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man, and sure not the fleeces that I graze. My master is of a churlish disposition, and little recks to find the way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his cot, his flocks, and bounds of feed are now on sale. And right now, at our sheep cot, by reason of his absence, there is nothing on which you can feed. But what there is, come see. And by my voice, most welcome will you be.
What is he that shall buy this flock and pasture?
That young swain you saw here erewhile, that little cares for buying anything.
I pray thee, if it stand with honesty, buy you the cottage, the pasture, and the flock, and you shall have to pay for it of us.
Oh, and I'll mend thy wages. I like this place and willingly can waste my time in it.
The thing is assuredly to be sold. Go hence with me. If you like, upon report, the soil, the profit, and this kind of life, I, your very faithful feeder, will be. And will buy it with your gold right suddenly. Yes, sir. Come on. Come on.
Oh, it's a stone. Okay.
to do Under the Greenwood Tree? Like, that's the next one. Could you? Yeah, let's start that. Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall ye see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. Here shall ye see no enemy, but winter and rough weather.
More, pretty more.
It will make you melancholy, Mademoiselle Jacques.
I think it. More, pretty more. I can suck melancholy from a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee more.
My voice is ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I desire you to sing. Come, another stanza. Call you them stanzas?
What you will, Mademoiselle Jacques.
Nay, I care not for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Then if ever I thank any man, I'll thank you. But that they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes, and whenever a man thanks me heartily, methinks I have given him a penny, and he renders me beggarly thanks. Come, sing, and you that will not, hold your tongues.
Well, then I'll end the song. Sirs, cover the while. The Duke will drink unto his tree. He has been all this day to look for you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He's too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, warble, come.
Seeking the food he eats.
I'll give you a verse to this note that I made yesterday, in spite of my invention.
And I'll sing it.
As it goes.
That was really good.
can actually clap this time, I guess.
What's the duck dummy? Duck dame?
Duck dame. It is a Greek invocation
Got it right the first time.
to call fools into a circle. I'll go sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet's prepared.
Dear master,
Oh, Adam.
I can go no further.
Oh, Adam.
I die for food. Oh, here I lie down and measure out my grave. Oh, farewell, kind master.
Oh, Adam, no greater heart in thee? Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it, or bring it as food to thee. Thy conceit is nearer death than thy powers, but for my sake, be comfortable. Hold death at arm's end for a while. I will here be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, then I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I return, then thou art a mocker of my labor. Good job. I will here be with thee presently. Thou lookest cheerly, but thou liest in bleakest air. Come, I will bear thee to some shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of a dinner, if there live anything in this forest. Cheerly, good Adam.
I think she'd be transformed to a beast, for I can find her nowhere like a human.
My lord, she is but now gone hence. Here was she merry, hearing of a song.
If she, compact of jars, grow musical, we will shortly have discord in the spheres. Go, seek her. Tell her I would speak with her.
She saves my labor by her own approach.
Why, how now, mademoiselle? What a life is this that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily.
A fool, a fool. I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool. A miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. In good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven has sent me fortune. Then he drew a dial from his pocket, looking at it with lackluster eyes, says very wisely, It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot and rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus more on the time, my lungs began to crow like a chanticleer, the fool should be so deep contemplative, and I did laugh sans intermission an hour by his dial. A noble fool, a worthy fool. Motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
One that hath been a courtier, and says, If ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It's my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgment of all opinion that grows rank in them, that I am wise. I must have liberty, withal, as large as the chartereth the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. And they that are most galled with my folly, they most must laugh. Thank you. And why so must they so? The why is plain his way to parish church. He that a fool doth very wisely hit, doth very foolishly, although he's smart, not to seem senseless of the bob. If not, the wise man's folly is anatomized in the squandering glances of the fool. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if it will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee. I know what thou wouldest do.
What, for a counter, would I do but good?
Most mischievous foul sin in chiding sin. For thou thyself hast been a libertine.
Why, who cries out on pride that can therein tax any private party? Doth it not flow as hugely as the sea, till that the very weary means do ebb? What woman in the city do I name when I say, the city woman bears the cost of princes on unworthy shoulders? Who can come in and say that I mean her, when such a one as she, such is her neighbor? Or, what is he of basest function that says, his bravery is not of my cost, thinking that I mean him, but therein suits his folly to the metal of my speech? There then, how then, what then? Let me see wherein my tongue hath wronged him. If it do him right, he hath wronged himself. If he be free, why then, my taxing like a wild goose flies, unclaimed of any man. Who comes here?
Forbear, it ain't no more,
I have eaten none yet.
nor shall not to necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Art thou thus emboldened, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemest so empty?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare distress hath tamed for me to show smooth civility. I am in the bread and know some nurture, but forbear, I say. He dies that touches any of this fruit, till I and my affairs are answered.
And you will not be answered with reason? I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost died for food, and let me have it.
Sit and feed, and welcome to our table.
Pardon me. I pray you, pardon me. I thought all things savage here. Therefore, put I in the countenance of stern commandment that whatever in this desert inaccessible, if ever Ben rebels and annulled to church, if ever from eyelids wiped a tear and know what 'tis to pity and to be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in which hope I blush and hide my sword.
True is it that we have seen better days, and have with holy bell been knolled to church, and sat at good men's feast, and wiped our eyes of tears that sacred pity hath engendered. Therefore, sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
Forbear your food a while longer, whilst, like a doe, I go to find my fawn and feed it. There is an old man, who hath after me many a weary step, limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed with 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go, seek him, and we will waste nothing till your return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
You see, we are not all alone, unhappy. This wide and expansive universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace, with woeful ballad made, 'twas the mistress's eyebrow. And then the soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in choral, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good cape and lined, with eyes severe, beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts to the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, which ends this strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Come on. Welcome, and set down your venerable burden. Let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So had you need. I scarce can speak to thank you myself.
Welcome in fall too. I will not trouble you as yet to question you on your fortunes. Give us some music. And good cousin, sing.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do blow that one. Yeah. Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. That tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hi ho, sing, hi ho. Most friendship is feigning, most loving me folly, unto the green holly, the green holly. Then hi ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky that does not bite so nigh as friendship. Remember not, now though the waters warp, thy sting is not so sharp as friendship. Remember not, then hi ho, sing hi ho, sing hi ho. Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be Move your hips a little bit. Oh, yeah.
I don't twirl. I don't. Yeah.
No?
Nope.
You really can.
What an ending. What an ending.
Very done. Well done. Well done. Hey, if thou you truly were Sir Roland's son, as you whispered that you were, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. The residue of your fortune, go to my cave and tell me. Good old man, thou art as right welcome as thy master is. Support him by the arm. Give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
Haven't seen them since, sir, so that cannot be. But were I not the better part made mercy, I should not seek an absent argument of my revenge thou present. But look to it, find out thy brother, seek him by candle, bring him within these 12 months to our court, or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory. Thy lands and all that thou callest thine, worth seizure, do seize into our hands, till by thy brother's mouth thou can twist us of what we think against thee.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I have never loved my brother in my life.
More villain thou. Well, push him out of doors, and let my officers of such a nature make an extent on his house and lands. Do this expediently and turn him going.
hang there my verse and witness of my love. Ah, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character. That whichever eye in which this forest looks shall see thy virtues witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, the unexpressive she.
Master Touchstone! Master Touchstone!
Corin?
Ah, Master Touchstone. So, how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself it is a good life, but as in respect it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but as it is not in court, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well, but as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
Well, no more than, but I know that the more one sickens, the worse one off he is. The property of rain is to wet and fire to burn. Good pasture makes for fat sheep. That a great cause of the night is lack of the sun. And that he that hath learned no wit by nature nor art may complain of good breeding, or comes of a very dull kindred.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Hast any philosophy? Wast ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly thou art damned, like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court, your reason.
Why, if thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. And if thou never sawest good manners, thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior of the country is most mockable at the court. You told me you salute not at the court, but yet you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Well, do not your courtier's hands sweat, and is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? A better instance, shepherd.
Why, we are still handling our ewes, and their fells are, greasy.
A better instance.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Mend the instance, shepherd.
And they are often covered over in the surgery of our sheep. With tar, and would you have us kiss tar? The courtier's hands are perfumed with civet.
Most shallow man, learn of the wise and perpend. Civet is of a baser birth than tar, the very uncleanly flux of a cat. A better instance.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest, damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
Sir, I'm a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear. Owe no man hatred, envy no man's happiness, glad of other men's good. And the greatest pride of my life is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you.
Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. It is the right butterwoman's rank to market.
Out, fool.
For a taste. If a hart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If the cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Winter garments must be lined, so must slender Rosalind.
Hey!
Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you dull fool. I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree yields bad fruit.
I'll grapple with you, and then I shall grapple with the meddler. And it'll be the earliest fruit in the country. And you'll be rotten, or you should be half right. And that's the right virtue of the meddler.
You have said, but whether wisely or no, let the forest judge.
Peace. Look here. Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Why should this a desert be? For it is unpeopled? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree. That shall civil sayings show. Some have violated vows twixt the souls of friend and friend. But upon the fairest boughs, or at every sentence end, will I, Rosalinda, write, teaching all that read to know the quintessence of every sprite. Oh, heaven would a little show. Therefore heaven nature charged that one body should be filled with all the graces wide and large nature presently distilled. Thus, Rosalind of many parts, by heavenly synod was devised, of many faces, eyes, and hearts, to have the touch of dearest prize. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live, and die her slave.
Oh, most faithful pulpiter, what tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners all, and never cried, have patience, good people.
How now? Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, Sirrah.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
I read them all, and some more often, for some of them had them more feet than the verses could bear.
'Tis no matter, the feet might bear these verses.
Aye, but the feet were lame, could not bear themselves without the verse, and therefore stood lamely in the verse.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of wonder before you came. For look here what I found upon the palm tree. I was never so berhymed since Pythagoras' time.
Trow you, who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Oh, change you color.
A pretty who?
Oh, Lord, Lord, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, and mountains may be removed with an earthquake, and so encounter.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I pray you with most petitionary vehemence. Tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful, without of all hooping.
Good, my complexion. Dost thou think that I am comparison like a man that I have double and hose in my disposition? 1 inch delay is a south sea of sorry. I prithee, tell me who it is quickly. Speak of haste. I would thou could stay without thou might pour this concealment out of thy mouth. As wine comes out of small mouth bottle, either too much or once or none at all. I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth that I may drink thy tidings.
He hath a little beard.
Why, God will send more if the man be thankful. Let me stay the growth of his beard, and thou delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is young Orlando that tripped up the boxer's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak now, sad brow and true maid.
A faith cuss 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Alas the day! What shall I do with my devil and hose? What did he when thou sawest he? What said he? How looked he? Where and went he? What makes him here? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? And how parted he would be? And when shall thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must bar me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great to say aye and no to these particulars. It is more to the answer in a catechism.
But doth he know that I am in this force and in man's apparel? Oh, looking as freshly as he did the day he boxed.
It is as easy to count atomies as to resolve the propositions of a lover. Take a taste of my finding him and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree, like a dropped acorn.
It may as well be called Jove's tree when it bears forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madame.
Proceed.
There he lay, stretched along like a wounded knight.
It be pity to see such a sight. It well
Pray hallowed to thy tongue, I prithee, it covers most unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
He comes to kill my heart.
You could sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think I must speak sweet. Sing on.
You bring me out. Soft. Comes he not here?
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief been myself alone.
And so had I, but for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
Gabaway, let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees by writing love songs in their barks.
And I pray you, mar no more my verses by reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thoughts of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
As high as my heart.
Ugh, you're full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
No, but I answered you right, painted cloth. From whence have you studied your questions?
You have a nimble wit. Will you sit down with me, and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery?
I will chide no breather but my own, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I would not change for your best virtue.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
Oh, he is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
Therein I shall see mine own figure.
Which I think to be either a fool or a cipher.
Ugh.
I
Nay,
grow
then,
weary of you.
I'll tarry no longer. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, Mademoiselle Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forrester?
Very well, what would you?
I prithee, what is it o'clock?
You should ask what time of day it is. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there is no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as the clock.
Why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands withal.
I prithee, who doth time trot withal?
Mary, time trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized. If the interim be but a sinner, time's pace is so hard that it feels the length of 7 years.
Who doth time gallop withal?
With a thief to the gallows, for though he go as slowly as cup can follow, he sees himself too soon there.
Who stays as still withal?
With lawyers in the vacations, for they sleep between term and perceive not how time moves.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
As the coney that you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer that could be purchased and so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, for indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me how to speak, who was in his youth an inland man, who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I am not a woman, be touched with so many giddy offenses that he hath generally taxed the whole sex withal.
Can you recount any of these principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal. They were all like one another as halfpence are. Every fault seeming more monstrous till his fellow faults could match it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
Nay, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a young man haunts this forest, abuses our young plants, carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth deifying the name Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have a quotidian of love about him.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you, Tell me your remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks about you. He taught me how to know a man is in love. In which cage of rushes, I am sure you are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, a blue eye and sunken, an unquestionable spirit, a beard neglected, which you have not. But I warrant you for that, for simply in your having a beard is a younger brother's revenue. Oh, then your hose should be unguarded, your sleeve untied, your shoe and your shoes untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man.
Fair youth, I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it. You may seem as make her that you love believe it, which I warrant she is apt to do than to confess she does. That is one of the points on which women still give lies to their consciences. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees in which Rosalind is so admired?
Fair youth, I swear to thee, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much as in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well as a dark house and a whip as my men do. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Fair youth, have you cured any still?
Yes, one, and in this manner, he was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I sought him out every day to come and woo me, in which, me being but a moonish youth, would grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, full of tears, full of smiles, would now like him, now loathe him, would then entertain him, therefore swear him, that I drove my suitor from his mad humor of love to live in a nook merely monastic, and thus I cured him. In this way I shall do to you that I shall wash your liver clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there will not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my court and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it and I'll show it you. And by the way, you must show me where it is in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
She was in love with a boy, in love with a girl, so in love with the world, so beautiful. She was in love with the night, the way the sun shines. All she needed was love to have to hold, and nobody could make her feel down. She was always smiling from ear to ear, and everybody wondered if would she ever know the feeling of tears? All she said to them was live your life just like you're young again. No, don't you cry, just get back up again. 'Cause if you want a life, then live it better. If you want love, then stay together. If you want to smile, then be forever.
hate it, but I do use it to get my checks and stuff done out there. So that it's just easier, but I guess I can unplug it.
One wall?
But if it wasn't working before, like she decided that I'd rather just switch it. And there's been some issues with doing the back strips. So. If you had them closer to the stage.
Those go by the back. That's why I have them over there.
The only reason I suggest that is I realize we prefer to have them up here so that you can monitor them. But I think when we hooked everything up back there for shorts, I don't remember.
I don't remember having that issue either. Yeah, you can move them up there, and then if we have. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Technology.
Another one works, right?
And I know so much about it.
Hi.
Francine is just asking about her mic, but
Yeah.
no rush.
We're gonna move these up there.
Essentially, Wi-Fi signals are interfering with
It's
this, so we're relocating the receivers, so hopefully it'll get a better.
Other than to see the battery, no.
So we're keeping the
But
mic packs.
there's only two.
So, because last year we put those back in green space.
Oh yeah, I would. Well, especially Francine's always.
Whereas we have so many signals out here in the booth, that having these receivers out here are a big problem.
Did we use the computers last year?
Last year, yes, we were in the SLC, which is a completely different setup. So
Okay, I just don't remember her working with mics before. So.
yeah, we had them. I don't remember who had them. I think Adam and Rebecca had them. I'm sure they had them sticking on the bottom.
That. Oh, the rear doors.
Do we have an extra mic in general, like
I-
like a 12 or 13?
I'm gonna set up.
Because we need
a couple-
backup plans.
Yeah, I'm gonna set up a couple extra mics that aren't in the preset.
Yes.
I have some open channels, so I'll just do
Yes.
that, and that way, if
Okay,
if that kind of thing happens, we have a better.
that would be
thing.
great.
I wasn't thinking about that. I guess when I was running this.
Okay. The thread keeps breaking.
Oh, it keeps breaking? Well, let's switch it out then.
Okay.
Let's give you some upholstery thread.
Okay. I was just like,
Believe me, the one mic was trying to. I know.
Not because actors are stupid or it also just really sets him apart.
Yeah.
Because you're the only one doing that.
So it's really cool. He's the only one in the park. Sorry, I've been here the whole time.
I need to go use the restroom.
I don't know how it'll turn out, but that's what I'm trying to do. So don't tell him, but. Sick. Except for all the other but I'm thinking kids like that, but it's different from what I feel like. So, Tori's talking for me today, so that'll give it a little more of a feel. I'm sorry. Yeah. See? Okay, so 31 and 32. Set.
Her batteries are changed.
Hi. Okay, sick. Ooh, get some snacks. Shoot, what is that?
any better?
It is the line stand up over there.
Is the thread any better?
Oh, I haven't had the opportunity. I just sat down, but now I realize there's something else I gotta go do, so I'm gonna have to go work on that. I have no idea what you just said. I just realized there's another piece I have to do, so I need to go grab. I need to go grab John's. Oh no, no, I already moved it. Never mind.
Alright, so this cable was filleted in one spot. It was bad. I put a new cable on it. It was, that thing exploded.
Do you want me to go on the stage or where at?
Yeah, on stage. Let's get.
Oh no, I got to keep on moving. What are these?
Bios.
Ah, cool. Yeah. It's not print layout.
A32 is what that needed. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, let's try that one more time. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh my god.
Gain control.
Oh my gosh. Take me to the sky, sky, sky. Oh my gosh. Show me how to fly, fly, fly. I'm just gonna be singing K-pop songs now.
Francine, can you walk around? Like,
What
for
did
real,
you
like, just
say?
walk all over the stage and that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, for your treat, Kenneth, smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover. Slide, step right, left to my beat. High like, hey, move, rock with me, baby. Know that I got that heat. Keep on walking, cause talk is cheap. Slide, step right, left to my.
All right, Francine.
Yeah?
All right, do whatever your loudest thing is.
Who do you speak to? Why you blame me to love you? And as I love no woman, meet.
Okay.
What is that? I don't know what that was. Okay.
Was that on the floor?
Yeah, well.
Okay. I was like, oh,
That's
please
none
don't
of my
tell me that's
business.
coming
Okay.
through the mix. Okay. Do you have any jumping actions and that kind of thing?
Oh, I jump on the. It's not here, but I jump on the wall. I can
Okay. Whatever you best can simulate that.
That's the jumping.
Okay.
That's about it.
I'm not hearing any of that weird popping, static, nasty junk that we were
Okay.
hearing before.
Okay.
So I'm going to call that good.
Okay, yeah.
If not, I've got another backup plan.
Yeah, no problem.
And we'll deal with that if that comes.
All right. Thank
Cool.
you very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Oh, I'm still.
There you go. Sorry, I forgot that I had you on there.
I think you just replaced the cable.
Oh, we already.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they did immediately.
I was telling about the cable.
It looked like it just had a blowout.
Did you see it?
I did not
The
see
whole
it.
thing is just like filleted. Zeph's cable, his
The
old one.
whole cable?
Let me, well, not the whole thing. There's a big spot of it that's just like destroyed. Let me get it. The thing looks legit.
Because if it had a clip on it and you went, it would do that. That's the. I mean, that is.
Everybody. I forget sometimes too. That it needs to go over my shirt.
So I just in the corner. Shorts. Fast pop shorts. So she go back on stage.
You get. There it is. This spot is that. Yeah. Oh, and it changed. And up top, it also popped open.
That's what I saw. Is that?
I mean, I
Sure, it's
yes,
pressure.
yeah, with it not being the whole thing, it's right up there at
It's
the
right.
top. And
It's just like
that's right where it hits right there.
on the mic shirt.
And so that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
With,
This is like just this thing.
with that, because those clips, if you do not, if you end up like running the cable through the clips, they just shred.
They just kind of shred and
So
fillet wide open. I'm good. Okay, I tested her mic.
Yeah. Do you need it? Do you need Ethan?
But yeah, it would be good to have Ethan too.
I need Ethan out from my check, please.
Yeah, I already texted him. Just like
Yes, I need Ethan out for mic check, please. Thank you.
That's what the rehearsals are for. Should we work out those random things? For the most part. I mean, only taking like having issues. You called? Yeah, we moved some like stuff around, so I just need you to speak.
Okay, I'm going to speak. I'm speaking currently. Ethan is speaking in front of nobody.
Can you do
Loud.
Yeah, you're loud.
Hey, you in the back, come here. Yeah, you, come here. Fight me, bruh. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Let's go. Hey, oh, your name's Oliver?
Okay.
I hate you more.
Hey, can you do? I know you have like a big fight scene and stuff. Can you do?
Like grunts?
Yeah, or a lot of big actions.
Okay. Let go of me. Oh.
For the tackle.
Okay. Oh, ow, that hurt. Oh my goodness. I don't know what else to do. This hurts.
All right, that's not bad. Can you walk like all over the stage?
All right, now I'm walking to this corner over here. Because I do hide over here at one point. So I hide right here. I walk over here behind this tree here. I'm going to keep walking in front of this tree. I walk down. Oh, how did you do? Oh, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. I wish you didn't come. Yep, you can come here. Yep. Oh, what are you doing out here? You're supposed to be back there. Oh, popcorn. Okay, I guess that's okay.
Okay. Hey, Ethan, I'm liking where that's sitting. I didn't hear any of the weird poppy crackly nastiness. So.
Me either.
Okay, I think we got our solution for now. So
Thank you,
let's
Nathan.
call it good.
You have served this country well.
Thank you. I want to get one thing. case something else goes haywire tonight. More gremlins get in the mix. I'm just gonna set this right.
That's better.
There we go. Okay. Cool. Thank you guys for your patience on that. Yeah, but all the things are fixed. Oh, we need to test that ambient. Yeah, yeah, later. LED batteries. Oh, quick save. I'd rather save always. So 3132.
She was in love with a boy, in love with a girl, so in love with the world, so beautiful. She was in love with the night, the way the sun shines. All she needed was love to have to hold, and nobody could make her feel down. She was always smiling from ear to ear, and everybody wondered around. Will she ever know the feeling of tears? All she said to them was live your life just like you're young again. No, don't you cry, just get back up again. 'Cause if you wanna
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features? The Lord warrants us. What features?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet, honest Ovid, was among the Goths.
Ugh, knowledge ill-inhabited. Worse than Job in a thatched house.
When a man's verse cannot be understood, nor a man's good wit seconded with the forechild understanding, it strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. Truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest indeed in word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers they do feign.
A material fool.
But be it as it may be, I will marry thee, and to that end I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar of the next village, who has promised to meet me here in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy!
Amen. A man may, if he were of fearful heart, stagger in this attempt, for here we have no temple but the wood, no assembly but horned beasts. But what though? Courage. As horns are odious, they are necessary. Is the single man therefore blessed? No, as a walled town is more worthier than a village, so the forehead of a married man is more honorable than the bare brow of a bachelor. Here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver, you are well met. Will you couple us here in this place of the forest, or will we go with you to your chapel?
Is there no one here to give the woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed. I'll give her.
Good even, good master, what you call it. You're very well met. God ild you for your last company. I'm very happy to see you here, even a toy in hand. Pray be covered.
We've been married, Motley.
As the ox hath its curb, the falcon her bells, so man hath his desires, and as pigeons bill, so wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church and have a good priest who can tell you what marriage is. This fellow will but join you together as they join wainscot, and then one of you will prove a shrunk panel, and like a green timber, warp. Go there with me, and let me counsel thee.
Come, Audrey, we will be married. Farewell, good Master Oliver, not... Oh, sweet Oliver, oh, brave Oliver, leave me not behind thee, but wind away. Begone, I say. I will not to wedding with thee.
'Tis no matter. There a fantastical knave of them all shall flout me out of my calling.
Never talk to me. I will weep.
Do I prithee? Yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
Oh, his hair is of the dissembling color.
Something browner than Judas's. Mary, his kisses are Judas's own children.
In faith, his hair is of a good color.
An excellent color. Chestnut was ever the only color.
And his kissing is as full of sanctity as the touch of holy bread.
None of sisters. He bought a pair of castles of Diana, a nun of Winter Sisterhood, not more religiously.
Well, why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
May, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes, for his verity and love, I do think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love.
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
But you heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They are both the confirmers of false reckonings.
Oh.
He attends here in the forest on the Duke of your father.
I met with the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was, and I told him of as good as he. So he laughed and let me go. But what talk we of fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
That's a brave man. He writes brave verses, says brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Who comes here?
Master and mistress, you've oft inquired after the shepherd that complained of love, who you saw sitting by me on the turf, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
What of him?
If you would see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little, and I shall conduct you, if you will mark it.
Oh, come, let us remove the sight of lovers, feed at those in love. Bring me to the sight, and you shall say, I'll play a busy actor in their play.
Phoebe? 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 Where'd you go? Phoebe? You're not Phoebe. You're not. No, not Phoebe. Phoebe! Oh, dear Phoebe. Oh, do not scorn me, Phoebe. Do not. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I will not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou sayest there is murder in mine eyes. 'Tis pretty sure and very probable the eyes, which are the softest and frailest of things, who shut their coward gates on enemies, should be called tyrants, butchers, murderers. Ugh. Now I frown on thee with all my heart. Lie not to say mine eyes are murders. Now show the wound my eye hath made in thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it, being but upon a rush. But now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not. Nor I am sure there's any force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, sweet Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then will you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time come not thou near me. And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insult? Insult all at once over the wretched. What, though you have no beauty, must you therefore be so proud and pitiless? What means this? Why do you look on me? Oh, I think she means to entangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, think not of it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can entain my spirits to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she, a woman.
No.
Oh, 'tis such fools as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her. But, mistress, know yourself, down on your knees, and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love, for I must tell you friendly in your ear. Sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy. Love him. Take his offer. So take her to the shepherd. Fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray you, chide ye together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness. She'll fall in love with my anger. If it be so, as fast as she answers with frowning looks, I'll sauce her up with bitter words. Why you look so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser, and vows made in wine. Will you come, sister? Shepherd, ply her heart. Come, sister. Shepherdess, look better on him, and be not proud that all the world could see no one is so abused in the sight as he.
Dead shepherd, now I find my saw of might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe. Pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
And wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, then by giving love, your sorrow and my grief are both extermined.
Thou hast my love. Is not that neighborly?
And I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love. But since that thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure. And I'll employ thee too, but do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, that I would think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after the man that the main harvest reaps. Loose now in a scattered smile, and that I'll live upon.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not well, no. I have met him oft, and he hath bought the cottage in the bounds that the old harlot once was master of.
Think not I love him. though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he who speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offences, I did heal it up. He's not very tall, yet, for his years he's tall. There is a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what did he to do to chide at me? He said mine eyes were black, and my hair black, and now I am remembered, scolded me. Ah, I marvel why I answered not again. But that's all one. Admittance is no quittance. I shall write him a very taunting letter, and I shall bear it. Wilt thou, Sylvius?
Oh, Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Sylvius.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those are in extreme. Those that are in extremity of both are abominable fellows, and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
But 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all of these.
Hey!
But it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects. Indeed, the sundry's compilation of my many travels, in which my oft rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler! By my faith, you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's, and to see everything and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool make me merry than to have experience make me sad, and to travel for it too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Ugh. Nathan, God be with ye. And you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, mademoiselle traveler. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover? And you serve me such another trick. Never come in my sight more.
But my dear Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise in love. He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and will break a part of the 1,000th part of a minute in the affairs of love, it may as well be said that Cupid hath clapped him over the shoulder. But I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you are so tardy too. Come no more in my sight. I'd as lief be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he goes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, you make a woman, and I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath the Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come, woo me. Woo me, for now I am in a holiday humor and like enough to consent. What would you say, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you are better to speak first, and when you will gravel for lack of manner, you might take occasion to kiss. Very good orators, when they are out, they will spit, and for lovers lacking, God warn us matter, the cleanliest shift is to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter.
Who could be out, being before her beloved's mistress?
Mary, that should you. If I were your mistress, I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What, of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, and yet out of your suit. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say that you are, because I will be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then in my own person, I die.
No, faith, die by attorney. The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time there's never been any man in his own person died vid illicit in a love cause. Troilus had his brains dashed out by a Grecian club, yet he did what he could to die before, and he is one of the patterns of love. Leander, he would have lived many a fair year had hero turned none, if it had not been for a hot midsummer night, for there he went but to wash himself in the Hellespont, and there being taken with a cramp, drowned. And the foolish coroners of the age named it was Hero Acestos. But these are all lies. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest, her frown might kill me.
By this hand, it will not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming-on disposition. Ask me what you will, I shall grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith I will. Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
Well, I hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What do you say?
I pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
How now, as soon as she can marry us?
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I do take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I might take some of commission to say this, but I do take thee, Orlando, for husband. Now, tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever, Orlando. No. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon against his hen, more clamorous than a parrot against rain, more newfangled than an ape, and more giddy in my offenses than a monkey. I will weep like Diana in the fountain, and I will do that when you are disposed to be merry, and I will laugh like a hind, and I will do that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she would not have the wit to do this. The wiser the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and it will out at the casement. Stop that, and it will out at the keyhole. Shut that, and it will fly out the smoke into the chimney.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I'll be with thee again.
Aye. Go your ways, go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought nothing of it. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but a cast away, and so come death. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth and in good earnest. And so God mend me, and by all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break but 1 jot of your promise and come 1 minute behind the hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind, that you may be picked out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore beware my censure, and keep your promise.
No, with no less religion, if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So, adieu.
Well, time is the old justice that examines all such offenses, and let time try. Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex for your love prate. You must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head and show the world what the bird had done to her own nest.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz. Let us not know how many fathom deep I am in love. Oh, but it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out. Whoosh.
No, that wicked son of Venus that was begot of thought, conceived of spleen, and born of madness. That blind rascally fellow that abuses everyone's eyes because his own are out. Let him be the judge of how deep I am in love. I tell thee, Eliana, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I will go find a shade and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
Oh, how say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock? And here much Orlando.
I warrant you, with pure love and troubled brain, he hath ta'en his bow and arrow and gone forth to sleep. Look who comes here.
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I judged by the waspish action and stern brow she had as she was writing it, it bears an angry tenor. Oh. Pardon me, I am but as a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter and play the swaggerer. Bear this, bear all. She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud and that she could not love me were as man as rare as phoenix. Odds my will! Her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, Shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest. I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Oh, come, come. You are a fool and turn into the extremity of love. I saw her hand. She had a leathern hand, a freestone-colored hand. I rarely did think that her gloves were on, but 'twas her hands. She has a housewife's hand. But that's no matter. I say she never did write this letter. This is a man's invention, and his hand.
Sure, it is hers.
Why, 'tis a boisterous and cruel style, a style for challengers. Why, she defies me. Woman's gentle brain cannot write such a giant rude invention. Will you hear this letter?
So please you, for I have scarce heard it yet, although heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou a god to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Why thy godhead laid apart, warest thou with the woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? While the eye of man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me, meaning me, a beast, if the scorn of your bright eye hath power to raise such love in mine, alack in me, what strange effect would work in mild aspect? Whiles you chid me, I did love. How then might your prayers move? What? He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me. And by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will this faithful offer take of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Call you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Without love such a woman, what, to be an instrument and play false strains upon thee? Not to be endured. Well, go your ways to her, for I see that love hath made thee a tame snake. And say this to her, if she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat to her. If you be a true lover and from hence, and not a word.
Uh-huh.
For here comes new company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you, if you know where in the pearliest of this forest stands a sheepcote fenced about by olive trees.
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom, but at this hour the house doth keep itself, there's none within.
And I may profit by a tongue, then I should know you by description. Such garments and such years. The boy is fair, of female favor, and bestows himself like a ripe sister. The woman, low and paler than the brother. Are you not the owners of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say that we are.
Orlando doth commend himself to you both. And to the youth that he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you will know of me, what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. And as he paced through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, lo, what befell. He cast his eye aside and marked what object did present itself. Under an oak, whose boughs were mossed with age, high-topped bald with dry antiquity, a wretched, ragged man with hair o'ergrown lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded serpent had wreathed itself, with their heads in nimble threats did approach the opening of the man's mouth. But seeing Orlando, it unleashed itself and with indented gilded glides made its way into a bush, under which bush's shade, a lioness with udders all drawn dry lay crouching head on ground with cat-like prowess that, when the sleeping man should stir, for 'tis the nature of such a beast to prey on nothing which doth seem as dead. This seen, Orlando did approach the man and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
I did hear him speak of an older brother. He did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
He might so well do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there? Food to the sucked and hungry lioness.
Twice he turned his back and purposed so. But kindness, ever stronger than revenge, and nature, nobler than his just occasion, did make him give battle to the lioness, which quickly fell before him, in which, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
What's you he rescued?
Was you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the thing I am.
But for the bloody napkin.
By and by, from the first to the last betwixt us two, tears are our countenance kindly bathed as to how I came into that desert place. In brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who outfitted me with fresh array and entertainments, and entrusting me unto my brother's love. He immediately led me to his cave, there stripped himself, and here upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled. He fainted, and cried in fainting upon his Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound. Being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story, and to give this napkin dyed in his blood to the shepherd youth that he doth in sport call his Rosalind.
Oh no, Ganymede, sweet Ganymede.
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There's more in it. How now, cousin Ganymede?
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home.
We'll bring you thither. I pray you take him by the arm.
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man, you lack a man's heart.
I do. I confess it, but Sirrah, a body would think this was well counterfeited. Do tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hi-ho! Oh.
This was not counterfeits. There's too great a testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well, then take heart and counterfeits be a man.
So I do, but if faith I should have been a woman by rights.
Come, you look paler and paler. I pray you draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That will I. For I must bear answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something, but I pray you, commend my counterfeiting to your brother. Will you go?
Audrey, come on. We'll find the time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old gentleman's saying.
A most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey. A most vile Martex. But, Audrey, there's a youth here in the forest lays claim to you.
I know who 'tis. He hath no interest in me in the world. Here comes the man, you mean?
It is meat and drink to me to see a clown. By my troth, we that have good wits have much to answer for. We shall be flouting. We cannot hold.
Good even, Audrey.
Good even, William.
And good even to you too, sir.
Good even, gentle friend. Cover the head, cover the head. They prithee be covered. What is thy age, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
All right, page. Was born in the forest here?
Aye, sir, I thank God.
Thank God, a good answer. Art rich?
No, sir. Faith, sir. So-so.
So-so is good, very excellent good. And yet, it is not. It is but so-so. Art wise?
I have a pretty wit.
Why, thou sayest well. I do now remember a saying, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. You do love this maid?
I do, sir.
Take my hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have. For it is a figure in rhetoric that drink, being poured from a cup into a glass, by filling the one doth empty the other. For all your writers do consent that Ipsy is he. Now you're not Ipsy, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, a bandit, which is in the vulgar leave, the society, which in the boorish is company, of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is abandoned in the society of this female, or clown, thou perishest. Or to thy better understanding, diest, or to wit, I kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death. I will deal in poison with you, or in bastinado, or in steel. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore, tremble and depart.
Audrey?
Huh? Do good, William.
God rest ye merry, sir.
Our master and mistress seeks you. Come, away.
Trip,
away.
trip. I attend. I
Let's
attend.
go.
Would you like to go with others? Would you like to go with me? Would you like to go with others? Would you like to go with me? Would you like to go with others? Would you like to go with me?
Is it possible that in so little acquaintance you should like her, and that but seeing you should love her, and loving woo and wooing she should grant? And will you persever to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the little acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her son consenting, but say with me that I love Eliana. Say with her that she loves me. Consent that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good. For all that was my father's and all that was old Sir Roland's, I will state unto you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Go you and prepare Elena, for look who here. Here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see you wear thy heart in a scarf.
Ouch, my arm.
I thought thy heart would have been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how well I counterfeited when he showed me your handkerchief?
Yeah, he great wonders in that.
I know where you are, Nate, it's true. There was never such a sight as the fight of two rams and Caesar's fantastical brag of I came, I saw, and overcame. For your brother and my sister no sooner met but they looked, no sooner looked but they loved, no sooner loved but they sighed, no sooner sighed but asked each other the reason, no sooner asked each other the reason but therefore sought the remedy. And in these degrees they will make a pair of stairs into marriage in which they will climb in continence or else be in continence before marriage. They're in the very wrath of love, and they will be together, and clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke the nuptial, but oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. And even though the more shall I tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness, but I will also be happy for my brother, and happy what he wishes for.
Why then, tomorrow, can I not serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talk. Know of me then, for I speak to some purpose, that I know you are a gentleman of good conceit. I speak not to set you may bear a good opinion of my knowledge, in so much I say I know you are. Neither do I in some greater measure neither do I labor in a greater measure than may in some little degree may bring a belief from you to do yourself grace and not to do me good. Believe then, if you please, that I can do strange things. I have, since I was 3 years old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art, and yet not damnable. If you do love your Rosalind to the heart as your gesture cries out, when your brother marry Eliana, shall you marry her? I know what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible for me, if it appeared not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes as human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly, although I say I am a magician. So therefore, bid your friends put on your best array, for when your brother marry Eliana, you shall enter Rosalind, if you will. Ah, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers. Hide, now, go.
Youth. Youth. You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle towards you. You are followed by a most faithful shepherd. Look upon him. Love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell me this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of passion and dreams. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all duty, all observance and adoration, all purity, all patience and impatience. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why you blame me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor doth not hear.
Pray you, enough of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. I will help you if I can.
Yeah. Okay.
I would love you if I ever loved woman. Tomorrow, meet me all here together. I will marry you if I ever married woman, and you will be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if I ever satisfied man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you will be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind meet, as you love Phoebe meet, and as I love no woman meet. Therefore fare you well. I have left you your commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Is it just me staring in the mirror on the wall? All I can see is nothing more than more of nothing at all. Behind that grinning face, you know what I discovered. Avoid an empty space. Is it for real? The voice that I keep hearing loud and clear. Is it just me taunting me with things I don't wanna hear?
Tomorrow is the joyful day, Audrey. Tomorrow we will be married. Audrey?
And I do desire it with all my heart. Here comes Amiens.
Well met, honest gentleman.
By my troth, well met. Come, sit, and a song.
Oh, well, shall I clap into it roundly without hawking or spitting or saying I'm hoarse, which is the only prologue to a bad voice?
Yes, do it, yeah.
Hiteth it. Birds. Got it. Have a seat, won't you? He was a lover and his lass, that o'er the green cornfield did pass. In springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding, ding, ding. Sweet lovers love the spring. Between the acres of the rye,
With a hay and a hoe.
pretty country folks would lie. And hey, naughty, no. In springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding a ding ding. Hey, ding ding ding. Sweet lovers love the spring. This carol they began that hour. How life was but a flower. In springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding, ding, ding. Sweet lovers love this ring. Come for you next, yeah? Oh, therefore take the present time, for love is crowned in the prime. In springtime, the only pretty ring time, when birds do sing. Hey, ding, ding, ding. Yow. Sweet lovers love the spring. Hey, ding, ding, ding. Sweet lovers love the spring. Thank you.
Boo, boo, boo. Truly, young gentleman, though there was no great matter in the ditty, yet the note was very untunable.
You are mistaken, sir. I lost not my time. I kept my time.
By my troth, yes, I count it but time lost to hear such a foolish song. God buy you and God mend your voice. Come, Audrey.
But I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope, and know they fear.
Patience once more while our compact is urged. Our contract as well as our as urged. You say, O Duke, that if I bring your daughter, you will bestow her onto Orlando here.
That would I, had I kingdoms to give her.
You say you'll have her if I bring her.
That would I, if I were all of kingdom's king.
You say you'll have me. You'll marry me as well if I be willing.
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you refuse me, you'll bring yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say you'll marry her if she will.
Though to have her in death were both the same thing.
Oh, Lord, no. Okay. I have made all these matters even. Keep your word, O Duke, that you'll give your daughter. You yours, Orlando, that you'll receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me, you'll give yourself to this faithful shepherd here. And if you keep your word, Silvius, that you will marry her if she will. And from hence I go to make all these doubts even.
I remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time I saw him, he thought he was a brother of your daughter.
They're short of the flood toward, and the couples are coming to the ark. Here come a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Salutation and greetings to you all.
Good my lord, bid him welcome. This is that motley-minded gentleman I've met so often in the forest. He hath been a court here, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with my friend, smooth with mine enemy. I have had 4 quarrels and like to have fought one.
And how was that ta'en up?
Faith, we met and found the quarrel was upon the 7th cause.
How 7th cause? Good my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well.
God hild you, sir, I desire you of the like. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, to swear and to forswear, according as marriage binds and blood breaks. A poor virgin, sir, an ill-favored thing but mine own. A poor humor of mine, to take that which no man else will. Rich honesty dwells like a miser, sir, as your pearl in your foul oyster.
By my faith, he's very swift and sententious.
According to the fool's bolt, and such dulcet diseases.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and beneath the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Are you ready? Do you have the rings?
Rings?
Do you really think she's going to show up?
Do you have...
If you've got
did
your
anyone
ring,
bring rings? Ring.
she might be
Why
here.
you just
Ring.
standing around? Oh, please, sis. Therefore, it's earth, mirth, and heaven, when earthly things made even atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her, yea, brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, I bend my love adieu.
I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. Nor I ever marry woman if you be not she.
Peace! Oh, I bar confusion. 'Tis I must give conclusion to these most strange events. Here's 8 that must take hands to join in Hymen's bands if truth holds true contents. You and you, no cross shall part. You and you are heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. I'm happy for you. You and you are sure together, as the winter to foul weather. Whiles a wedlock hymn we sing, feed yourselves with questioning, that reason, wonder may diminish. Thus how we met, and these things finish. Niece, welcome thou art to me, even daughter, welcome in no less degree. Ooh, let's get a picture. Take a picture, take a picture.
I got it.
Let's see, let me see.
It's not
I will not eat my words, now that thou art mine.
Well, we're in the
Thy
woods.
faith, my fancy to thee doth combine.
Oh, yes.
Listen up. Let me have audience for a word or two. Duchess Frida, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to this forest, addressed a mighty power, which were on foot in her own conduct, purposely to take her brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wild wood she came, where, meeting with an old religious man, and after some question with him, was converted, both from her enterprise and from the world, her crown bequeathing to her banished brother, and all their lands restored again to them that were with him exiled.
Thou offers fairly to these brothers' wedding. Meanwhile, let us forget this new fallen dignity and fall into our rustic revelry. And you, brides and bridegrooms all, with measure heaped in joy, to the measures fall.
Yeah, to the Duchess will I. So, to your pleasures, times rather than dancing measures.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites, as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
It is not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome to see the lord the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, then 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove better by the help of good epilogues. What a case am I in then, that am neither a good epilogue nor can insinuate with you in the path of good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much the play may please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering none of you hates them, till between you and the woman the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you that had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breasts that I defied not. And I am sure that as many of you that have good beards and good faces and sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.
now, but whatever you come out as, that is what it is going to be said as. So.
Do you want me to?
You're just gonna stay there.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
I'm excited too. Okay.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and come out. Let's see.
Ready?
Let's try this. You come all the way down on the edge. Come on stage. To the center line and come straight to Rosalind. Okay, so stop there, in your line. Okay, this is gonna be great. Ethan, stage left. Mike, stage right. Stage left. Stage right. Stage left.
this is so
Stage
cool.
right. Stage left. Right. Left. Right. Yes and no. Ethan and Mike take a step back. Take it 2 steps back. 3 steps back. 4 steps back.
One
5
voice,
steps
guys. One
back.
voice.
So we're creating a triangle.
I
So
must
you guys
be in
really
a triangle.
This is delightful. Rebecca, have you switched? Come up. And everybody, fill in the line between Rosalind and Celia over there. And yes, so we need you guys to fill in the space between Amy and Rosalind. Half a step. Oops, a little too much. Quarter step. All right, there. All right, excellent. Okay, so once you get into these positions, stage left, you are going to face left, and you guys are going to face right. So you guys are bowing to everything from Becky right. You guys are bowing to everyone from Becky left.
So bowing to the maintenance guy.
Yes. You are going to cue off of Rosalind. So Rosalind, because we're not holding hands for this arrangement, just give a hand up. So look for her hand up, and then just take a measured bow.
Do you want her straight down stage?
I'm going off Levi.
No, go ahead
Really?
and,
Okay,
and turn.
yeah.
4, 6, 2, 4, 5. Let's actually, can you rotate to be with Ethan?
Oh, okay.
So that Rosalind and Orlando are facing the same way. Okay, so cue and bow. And bow nicely. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Now the tricky part. Everybody right, go left, and everybody left, come right, and go in between each other. Does that make sense? And you're just staying pretty much the same. Excellent, guys, excellent. Same thing. Same thing, cue and bow. Excellent. Booth?
You're in trouble.
And then
Dance.
we're going to do this differently. You're going to change positions, then do booth, then bow, and then we'll all exit. So, yes.
Can we hammer time from this one?
It's not complicated. Let's change positions.
Let's go no.
Okay.
This is, curtain call is the time for you guys to thank your audience for being here, because this means nothing without an audience. So, it is fun to do the shimmy, but at this point, it's better just to be quick and kind of almost respectful. It doesn't need to be somber, but it's respectful and earnest. And so it's not about us, it's about them. So I'm going to say no to the shimmies. Okay, so it's going to be booth bow, or gesture to the booth, then take your bow in this position.
Oh,
So
we
there's
all
only,
facing?
there's only going to be 2 bows.
okay.
So, okay, so let's try this again.
Okay.
From the beginning?
From the beginning.
Okay.
We will walk it through.
Wait, how
Sorry, from the entrance.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I'm sorry you don't get to be a part of the comedy.
I'm the black guy.
This is what you get for attending the prom.
Alright, you are in your order.
Yes.
Lights come back up, enter.
Oh, you know I see it.
And just laughing around. switch positions. Booth. Bow. Cue off of Rosalind. Let's do that one more time. Cue off Rosalind. Excellent. Everybody stage right, go right. Everybody stage left, go left.
You go forward.
And that is that. Okay, we are going to do that one last time with lights and sound. Well, we got to get to the right light here. Can we go to the epilogue?
Okay, thank you.
There we go.
What just fell?
I don't know. I kicked it, whatever it was.
Okay, so everybody off stage is in conga line. Can you give the last sentence?
For my kind offer.
Wait, oh, sorry, I need to check with the booth. Are you guys ready?
Quiet! For my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.
If I could find a way to say the right words to you, explain what I'm going through, what is on my mind. Wish I knew what to say whenever I'm close to you. How can I get through to you? You are on my mind, and all I wanna say, but in a clever way, instead of thinking about you, thinking about you.
I'm good with that. Everybody back on stage? Okay. So that's really good. It's short, sweet, to the point. We are not doing individual bows